Alright, starting to solve some equations that involve absolute value, and the instructions for all of them are going to be solved, well, most of them are going to be solved and graph the solution on a number line. So here we've got an absolute value equation. It's a two-step equation that happens to be inside absolute value. So we're going to write it twice. Remember, absolute value equations have generally two solutions, occasionally not, but most of the time yes. So we're going to just write it once without the absolute value bars, and I tend to write that to the right because the other one is going to be the opposite sign. It's really the opposite of what's inside the absolute value bars, but it's equivalent to making the right side negative. So from this point forward, that's what I end up doing, is I don't distribute that negative, because every time it works if you just make that right side negative. So I want you to think about why it works. If you can't think about why it works and just remember to make the right side negative, great. If you want to distribute the negative instead, great. This is how I'm going to show it, as if that red step isn't there, but the red step is there. We just take the shortcut. So then we just solve each of these little equations. Get rid of the addition or subtraction thing first, then divide. We get x equals -3 on that half. Do the addition or subtraction thing first there. Then we divide, and we get x equals 7 on that half. So we have an OR answer, two solutions. And so -3 and 7 are our two answers. They're represented by 2 points on the number line. Let's do one that's got a fraction. We're still going to write it twice. Once with the negative after the equal sign, and once as is. I'm going to do this by clearing the fractions. So I'm going to multiply everything by 4. I'm going to take the time to do that extra little step that shows the distribution of the 4, because I know I make less errors that way. I won't forget to times that 6. I can cross cancel there, so I get 3x minus 24 equals -72. Get rid of the thing that's attached by addition or subtraction. Then do the division. So we get x equals -16 there. Take the other part, multiply by 4. Show the distribution. Cross cancel. 3x minus 24 equals +72. Solve that one. 3x equals 96, so x equals 32. So there's my OR answer. I'm not going to graph that on a number line. It's going to be 2 dots. They're really far apart. The big important thing that's new is check for extraneous solutions. What does that mean? Extraneous. Extra. Stuff that we don't need. Stuff that doesn't work. It's solutions that don't work. It's solutions that don't make a true equality, true equation when they're substituted. So it's going to be really important. When it says check, you need to check. These are going to come up in various things we do throughout the school year, so don't just blow off the things that say check for extraneous solutions. They could just never say it. You should always be checking your solutions. They're kind of spoon-feeding you a little bit by telling you that you have to check some things. So here's one that says solve, check for extraneous solutions. So we're going to solve this the same way we've been solving it. And we're going to set up one version with the stuff outside the bars with the opposite sign, and one just the way it is. Subtract 2x from both sides. We get 5 equals -5x. Divide, we get x equals -1. Solve the other part. Get 5 equals x. Before we put the OR in there, circle our answer, box our answer, what have you, we need to check, because we got 2 solutions, but It's telling us to check for extraneous solutions. We don't know if those are both true solutions. We have to check them. We have to substitute. So we're going to substitute the -1 first. We get -2 plus 5. That's going to be 3. That is not equal to -3, so that is not a solution. Substitute the 5. We get 10 plus 5 equals 15. That's true. 15 is equal to 15, so that is a good solution. So we only have one solution to this absolute value equation. That's okay, that'll happen. Only one solution.